And welcome back inside Mission Control Houston. That again, a look at the upcoming demonstration flight of the Cygnus vehicle to the International Space Station. As part of our lead up to that, all this week I've been talking to a few of the flight control team that are going to be here in Mission Control Houston monitoring the flight, in charge of supporting the vehicle on its final approaches to the International Space Station. Joining me now, one of those console positions, Billy Jones. He's one of our ROBO flight controllers. Now, Robo, you're probably the only self-explanatory flight control position in this entire room. Let me say that. You're robotics.
Yep, we do robotics, and we actually like Robo because it's not an acronym. Doesn't stand for anything except robotics.
You guys are special with that.
Yeah, we're the rock stars.
You're in charge of robotics. What systems are you controlling on board the station?
So we control the external robotics for the Canadian robotic systems. So we've got the SRMS, Canadarm2. We also have the mobile base system, the MBS that goes with that, and then the MT that allows us to move up and down the truss. Additionally, we have Dexter, the SPDM that we've been using a lot these days from the ground. And then inside, we've got the workstations where the crews actually fly in the arm from when we have them doing operations. A couple of robotics we don't control, of course, the GEM RMS, that's belongs to Japan, and then inside, like the Spheres and Robonaut, those are our other groups. So we've got the big industrial ones outdoors.
So you guys got the biggest toys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, this upcoming orbital flight, robotics are going to play a huge role. Okay, what are robotics going to be? What are they in charge of?
Sure. So with Orbital, you can't dock direct to the station. You've got to be captured by the arm. So basically, between Orbital and the VVO teams, they're going to get us to a point a few meters below station, and then essentially turn off the thrusters, and we're going to reach out and grab them. So that's kind of the critical operation for us is getting the crew to fly out and successfully grab Cygnus, and then from there. Reconfigure the vehicle and we move it up to underneath node 2 for the install. That's kind of our big task. Once that's done, we get to hang out for 30 days while people are messing around inside, and then we do the opposite. We're going to uninstall it. We're going to take it to a release point again several meters below station and put her back in the stream. Okay,
so walk me through the rolls real quick. Once it gets there and it kind of turns off its thrusters, it's just floating there. The crew is actually going to be the ones controlling the arm to reach out.
Yeah, it's such a dynamic situation because even though the thrusters are off, it's essentially floating in space. So it can move, it can drift. So we've got 2 crew. They're going to be on the hand controllers and the RWS inside. The cupola actually have a great view outside, and they're going to be flying in for the grapple. What me and my team are going to be doing is we're responsible for getting the system set up beforehand. So we're getting everything powered on. We've been doing a series of checks and even training with the crew leading up to this point. So we've been in charge of that whole operation, and we do most of the ground commanding to get everything set up and kind of in position for them. So then on capture day, we're going to turn it over to them. They're going to fly in, do the grapple. They're going to fly all the way through install, and basically we're going to be monitoring the health of the system, making sure everything's going good up through install. And then once they're done with that, we'll take over from the arm, from the ground, and we can go do any other operations we've got in that time frame.
Okay. Is there anything special happening? Because I mean, is the crew always the one that reaches out and grabs the vehicle, and then also docks it, or does that differ between the various cargo vehicles?
So the crew is always going to fly the capture for Dragon, for Cygnus, and for the HTVs. Just because it's a dynamic situation and you want to have that quick feedback. We got a little bit of lag being on the ground. For the other vehicles, we've developed a ground control install. So basically for HTV and Dragon at this point, you grapple it, the crew says, all right, we're done, and then the ground takes over for the install. For Orbital, because it's a demo flight, we are going to have the crew fly all the way through the install. The plan is that for downstream flights, we'll take over from the ground as well for the maneuver and the install.
Okay. Well, everyone else I've been talking to for this, they've been training for this for years. They're really excited. Is there any particular moment you're really gonna, sigh of relief? You're gonna be really excited?
I definitely think the big sigh of relief is going to be capture. Now, of course, we've got a couple hours of operation to do the install after that, but of course, building station with the shuttle program, we're pretty well versed on the install. But this, it's the first time with a new vehicle, so that capture is going to be a good moment to get to. Of course, the crew's been training for a long time. I personally have been working on this flight close to 2 years, and there were teams before me who were handling the robotics. So it's been quite a road to get here. But just with the coordination between the safety teams, with the engineers, with actual Orbital, making sure that we've got this operation as safe as it can be. crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's.
All right. Well, we're certainly looking forward to it. Again, Billy Jones, one of our robo flight controllers, the only position here in the room not made up of an acronym of multiple words, so it makes my job easier. But again, Billy, thanks so much for coming on, giving us a little insight into the operations for all the robotics for this. Again, Orbital launching on September 17th and docking on September 22nd. You can see all the major times here on your screen now. We're going to be bringing you live coverage on NASA TV like we do with all of our dynamic operations. Again, Orbital will be the second U.S. commercial provider to come online for resupplying the International Space Station. Really looking forward to that next week. Make sure to tune in. All right. Thanks, Billy. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.